Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. The rebuild of the Cultus Lake Docks will be a slow and an expensive process. A break-in at the Chilliwack Military Museum, and the thieves knew what they wanted. It's official, Chilliwack Flight Fest will fly in August, and G.W. Graham planning a new turf field paid for by donations. Josh Bohr will have more in sports. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Our top of the news this week, sponsored by Zacharias Vickers, LLP. Dock replacement at Cultus Lake is going to be a long process. On Wednesday, the Cultus Lake Park Board received the proposals and the outline on the damage and the cost of the repairs and the aftermath from last November's atmospheric river. Now, the Cultus CAO, Don Lehn, telling chillTV that residents should not expect a quick fix. Insurance and the rebuild itself could take all summer. You can read the detailed staff report and the recommendations on the Cultus website, so look under the agenda and the meeting minutes for May the 18th. And this is a potential $2.5 million project. It's not going to be cheap. Just before 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, a couple of thieves using hammers and a grinder broke into the Chilliwack Military Museum downtown. Now, there is video of the two, both wearing hoodies and not wasting time in getting into the museum and taking a deactivated Tommy gun from a 1942 vintage Harley, as well as a ton of bayonets. Now, they all have museum markings. When chillTV's video crew arrived on the scene Monday afternoon, CFB Chilliwack Historical Society President Gordon Wozencroft was wrapping up an emergency board meeting. They were discussing the damage and the insurance, and he told chillTV that the thieves did not touch laptops or even the donation box, not even cell phones. But in the cleanup of the broken glass, there were blood droplets. So RCMP Forensics are now examining that as well as checking out the video. And the outpouring of support has been amazing. Donations, if you want to do this, can be made through the museum's social media. Elections BC releasing the expense limits for candidates for the October 15th municipal elections. Now, each election area and office has its own limit. It's based on the office and the population of that election area. So these limits apply to the 2022 general local elections and subsequent by-elections if they're needed. So for Chilliwack, anybody running for mayor can drop 64 grand. Councillors who want to be a wannabe can spend 32,000. Note that Jason Lum led the pack 4 years ago for his run as councillor and basically ran his entire campaign on the cheap, just using social media. Chilliwack is getting a brand new primary care center. The much needed facility opened this past Tuesday and will provide care to people who need to see a doctor within 24 hours but don't need an emergency visit. So this includes, for example, minor cuts, high fever, minor infections. The center will also act as a bridge when people are not yet connected to a family doctor. In addition, it will facilitate mental health and addiction services. Project AIM is holding a fundraiser. Now, AIM stands for Access to Incontinence and Menstrual Products. Many youth and seniors are simply too shy to ask for help for these issues, and the goal is to get the products to those in need. So the second annual Garage Sale for Good is going to happen this year, July 16th and the 17th. All the funds raised will go directly to Project AIM, with 100% going to products with no administration. That'll help ensure that they have the capacity to continue to get much needed products to the hands of those in need. Now, if you want more information, Project AIM, AIM, does have a Facebook page. It is official. The Chilliwack Flight Fest will fly again. After a couple of years on the ground, the free show will include drone displays. The show is at the Chilliwack Airport, August the 20th and the 21st. That's the same weekend as the Pride Festival and a downtown community concert. So there'll be lots to do on those hot August nights of that particular weekend. There will be another summer market coming to the WAC, Coast Valley Markets. This is the brainchild of Betty Bocas. She is the woman in the middle of this photograph. She started similar ventures in Metro Vancouver. Now, this is now on every Saturday at Carmen United Church. And after the break, Josh with sports and an interview with G.W. Graham's Jake Mouritzen.
Welcome back, everyone, once again to Sports. It's Josh here with you. Before we jump into the sports stories for today, I want to actually take a moment and give a huge thank you to the incredible people at Southern Irrigation for putting on the first annual Southern Irrigation Rosedale Open for the benefit of the Chilliwack Salvation Army. For those of you who don't know, I work at the Salvation Army at my day job as their volunteer and fundraising coordinator. And so Southern approached us in about February and said, we want to put on a tournament to support your food bank. And so they did it. And it happened just this past Friday. They had over 30 local sponsors supporting the event, 144 golfers. Everyone came together for a day of food, fun, and plenty of lost golf balls, but all in the name of helping the Salvation Army continue to provide local food security to over 1,000 low-income families every single month. Incredibly, they were able to raise over $107,000 for the Salvation Army, which is just a staggering number. So thank you so much to Southern Irrigation for organizing, the Falls Golf Club for hosting, and all the golfers and local sponsors for their overwhelming generosity. We are so touched by what you guys have done, and we are very excited to make it even bigger and better next year. All right, let's jump into the sports stories for today. Beginning with GW Graham, who over the years have proven that their sports programs are among some of the best, most successful in the province. But when it was proposed that the school create a high-level sporting facility worthy of the quality of their the quality of their teams, the question of funding was inevitably raised. Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams once said, if you build it, they will come. But you'll notice he never specified who will be paying for it. And I'm pretty sure all those dead baseball players in the cornfield can't keep collecting on their 401k, so what gives? So GW unveiled the plans, big plans, for a turf field, lighting, 300 temporary seats that they hope to scale up to 1,000. But the kicker is that this will all be funded by the community. No formal monetary support from the Chilliwack School District or the city itself. It may be a little more than the school can handle, but GW Graham Athletic Director Jake Mouritzen is confident that the home of the Grizzlies can pull off this incredible fundraising effort that will benefit the entire city of Chilliwack. So I spoke to Mouritzen earlier today to get a little more information on this super ambitious project. Take a look. We are pleased to be joined today by GW Graham Athletic Director Jake Mouritzen. Jake, thank you so much for coming on the show. Pleasure to have you here. Took a while to get you connected, but you're here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks a lot for having me. Super excited. Always excited to talk sports and talk with the community. So really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you've actually, I'm sure most people know this, but maybe not everyone. You are not new to GW Graham. You've been around since, you were just telling me, 2006. And you've built a hyper-competitive program. I mean, GW is at the top level in a number of different disciplines. My understanding is that you've recently been rewarded kind of for those efforts at a program level. Do you want to talk a little more about that?
Yeah, I think this last weekend was a really special weekend for our entire school. Myself and 12 other teacher coaches from GW Graham traveled over to Victoria. It was the annual BC School Sports AGM, Legislative Assembly conference. And on the Friday night, they have a big formal fancy dinner and present some awards. And one school every year is awarded the School of Excellence for being recognized as the top athletic school in the province. And this year, we were lucky enough to be the winners, so it was really special. That night we talked a lot about hard work and all the people that it takes to do what we do, and it's from parents, grandparents, obviously the kids, teachers, administration, all the people that have been such a huge part of it. But it was 17 years in the making, and I was part of the staff that opened the school in 2006. And we've come a long way from 2006 when nobody in Chilliwack was sure they wanted to come to GW Graham.
So now you have this hyper-competitive elite level programming all across the sport, all across athletics at GW. I think it's high time, and I think a few people agree with me, that we have a facility that matches the quality of these programs. You announced very recently that GW Graham has put a plan together to build such a facility. Do you want to detail some of a little bit more of those plans? Because there's also an interesting wrinkle in terms of when you build something this big, funding obviously is the first thing that comes up. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we've been lucky since 2006 to inherit an amazing school, and we've got a great facility indoors. We've also been lucky enough to have two really great grass fields that both the city and the school district have maintained for a long time. But living on the West Coast, as we all know, the grass doesn't hold up all season. And now our soccer program, our field hockey program, our new baseball program, our rugby program, and our obviously very successful football program really just need to take it another step up. And so I've talked to the school district and senior executive and the city for years about possibility of additional turf fields on the south side. And the city has partnered with the school district to build one at the new Stetos Elementary Middle School, which is awesome. So it gives us another place for kids to play sport on the south side, but it really didn't solve our problem with our facility. And so it's been a number of years, but about 2 or 3 years ago, I approached the executive with an idea. Would we get permission to build something of this manner if I could go out and find the funding? And so we were asking for $0 from the school district. We didn't know what the city would be interested in at that point, but I did get kind of a yellowish green light to kind of explore some options. And that's kind of how it started. And it's now been countless meetings and hours of planning and strategizing and finding the right people. And in the process, we've met, like I say, with everyone that is important at the school district office. And we've had some great meetings with the city. The city is super on board with our project. They're not interested at this time in being partners, and that's totally okay. We have a great relationship with the city and the school district, and if they need extra turf space and we get ours, then it could be a rental situation. But the city won't be partnering with us on this. So when I was able to again present to the executive and to our head finance and treasury people and show kind of what our plan was, we kind of got the green light to continue to move forward. And that's kind of where we are now. All kinds of steps and procedures and plans are slowly coming together, and we're super excited about it. It's not going to be funded by the school district. There may be a small amount of funding come from our athletics department, but this is going to be a community project with community people. We have some pretty solid partners that are looking to join us, and we are, after making it public last week, we're definitely in the full process of starting our big fundraising campaign and moving forward with the development of the project. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
I mean, I got to say, Jake, I think this project is just going to be so exciting, so good for the city of Chilliwack. And the fact that all the surrounding schools are going to be able to kind of have access to it as well. This is going to be huge, huge, huge for sporting in Chilliwack. And I'm just very excited. So congratulations. Best of luck as you begin this enormous fundraising campaign. I got full faith you guys are going to pull it off. Thank you very much for coming on, Jake. Really appreciate it. Once again, GW Graham, Athletic Director Jake Mouritzen, talking about the big building project, the new field coming your way in just a short while. We'll be back with more sports in just a moment. Okay. Thank you again, Jake, so much for joining us. Such a pleasure talking to you. The pride of Chilliwack FC, Jordan Huitema, this girl just can't stop winning. Fellow Canadian Ashley Lawrence scored twice on Sunday as Paris Saint-Germain dominated underdog Aisher 8-0 to win the Coupe de France, which is just the French Cup for her league. Huitema came on for PSG in the 63rd minute and posted this photo over here somewhere after her big win. Congrats to Jordan. That's a huge achievement. Like I said, after the gold medal last summer, she's just on quite the winning streak right now. Congrats again, Jordan. Golf Canada has announced that Jennifer Gregan of Chilliwack has been named to the coaching staff of Team Canada as a full-time associate coach, transitioning from her current role as assistant coach for the national junior squad. A former LPGA Tour player with 22 years of professional experience, Gregan previously served as the provincial coach for British Columbia, for BC Golf, and the assistant coach for Team Canada, and also was a coach at UFV for a number of years. So congrats to Jennifer. I don't know if she remembers, she taught me golf when I was about 11. I just didn't listen to her. I was just one of those kids where I didn't listen to the coach all the time. So you tried, Jennifer. I'm just not a good listener. All right, well, while you wouldn't know it by the weather, the May long weekend is actually upon us right now. And the unfortunate fact is that many people are heading to the lake this weekend, not prepared at all for some of the risks that come along with that. National Boating Safety Week starts this week. And I want to remind everyone to please wear a life jacket when you're on a boat at all times. And while you may have finished third in your grade 5 swim meet, remember that the open water can be unpredictable and even the best of swimmers can be caught off guard if you're not careful. So please be safe, have fun, and drink responsibly as well. Speaking of crappy spring weather, poor Agassiz Speedway cannot catch a break from Mother Nature this year. The first 2 races of the season have been rained out, but if first you don't succeed, try again, or something like that. Isn't that the definition? No, that's the definition of insanity. Regardless, they're going to try again on May the 28th with the Dryco Street Challenge. Dryco, hopefully it's dry. So keep your fingers crossed. May 28th, hopefully this anniversary season for the Agassiz Speedway can kick off. That is all we've got for sports today. Thank you again for tuning in, as always. Next week, we got an incredible show lined up for you, so tune into that, and we will see you all there. Thanks again.
Before we get to chillTV weather, we do have to do a shout out to our new mascot, Tesla the dog, who is right about down there. Camera shy right now. chillTV weather shaping up for a perfect Victoria Day weather. Sunshine in the high of 20, maybe even 22. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. Enjoy your Victoria Day long weekend. Stay safe on the roads. And it is also the start of Boating Safety Week. Have a good one. I'm Don Lehn.